All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here today. So we're going to be talking about what are your core offerings. So I was thinking back to a few months ago, I think it was September, when we talked about what's your strategy. So today I want to talk about what your core offerings are, and those are actually pretty related. So if you remember, we talked about your strategic goals back in September. And if you don't remember, go find that YouTube video or the Google Docs where I should have put the slides, but we talked about your strategic goals, like you want to be known as an authority in food systems or in social justice. And the way you're going to do that is XYZ, offer trainings, write a book, offer workshops, whatever it is. So your strategic goals, those high level strategy things that move your business forward. Your core offerings are the things that are within those strategic buckets. So believe it or not, I can hold a plank for days. So I wanted to get that image in your mind of core offerings. So I threw up a few possible core offerings that you might have as someone who is an evaluation consultant. So you might become an expert, really enjoy doing logic models and theories of change, for example. I think those go hand in hand with evaluation planning. I can't imagine doing one without the other, but they are, tasks, right? So evaluation planning, I love the evaluation planning. Actually, I love the creativity of it. I love thinking about what I call big bucket evaluation questions. Like if I could trademark a term, I would do it because I say that all the time. So I really enjoy evaluation planning. Strategic planning is something that I'm leaning into more and more. I do a lot of strategy development, but I also see a lot of bad strategic plans. And by bad, I mean, they're either so complex or there's no implementation as part of it. That's very frustrating to me. Sometimes I get hired to do the implementation design of the strategic plan. And then data analysis. You may be, whether you're quant or qual or mixed methods, you may be an expert in data analysis, and maybe that's where you want to spend most of your time. I know a lot of evaluators do a lot of grant writing. They may write the whole grant. That might be part of their whole offering that for their business. They may just write the evaluation section. They may work with grant writers in a kind of cooperative kind of way. Maybe you're a whiz at reporting and you love writing reports, and that's one of your core offerings. And related to that, data viz. I mean, I am very happy to see the field go forward. I think we're getting so much better at great data viz and data visualization. Although, where was I? Yeah, I was at a workshop a couple of weeks ago with some evaluation colleagues, and not all of us, and this was not just evaluators. There were public health folks, there were nonprofit folks. Not everybody has drunk the Kool-Aid about data viz, so maybe that's one of your core offerings, helping people do better data visualization rather. And then lastly, trainings and workshops. That might be something that you really enjoy. You love teaching, but you don't really want to be in an academic setting, but you don't really want to let that go either. So maybe trainings and workshops on specific topics. All right, so are there any other core offerings that I did not list that you might think of? And you can either come off mute if you're on mute and jump right in, or you can put it in the chat. Anybody have anything else I did not think about, or something that you offer? Data viz has its own vote. Yep. Workshop facilitation. DEI work. Yep. Anything else?
Could you go back to that slide with the list of them?
Sure. Anything else? All right. So here are my questions that I want you to ponder. I'm going to go through the questions because I want folks who come behind us later who can join us today to be able to ponder these too. But I'm going to go through the questions and then I'm going to turn the mic off because, as always, I want office hours to be a very private space. Think Las Vegas, only without the sleaze, that you can kind of work through some of these questions. So our first question is, what core offerings resonate with you? What core offerings do you have? What do you notice about highly successful consultants, evaluation consultants in particular? How do you feel when you're doing core work in which you excel? When have you been uneasy in your work with regard to your core offerings? What's the value of choosing to focus on core activities? Where do you need to make a decision about your core offerings? And then what will you do next? And then here are, oh, I forgot 5.5 tips, that should say. So I want you to think about your strategy, your overall strategy, think about your possible core offerings, identify your happy places, those places where you're, zen when you're doing the things that you excel in. Choose those areas you're going to focus in, finalize that business strategy, then do it. If I see anything is that people dream and dream and dream and put all sorts of roadblocks in front of themselves when all they really have to do is be Dorothy on the yellow brick road and just take that first step. And then you're going to do it, but then you're going to also talk about it. You're going to talk about what you do all the time. All right, so now it's your turn. And as always, here is where you can connect with me. So I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to go back to our discussion questions and we're going to talk about it. I can, there we